Welcome to Soapdish. Hi, Luann. How are you?
Hey, Mark, I'm doing great today. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty well. Today is the 18th of December, 2024. We're getting close to Christmas.
Oh, I know. 1 week away only.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have all your shopping done?
Yeah.
You got Suzette her gift
My wife
already?
does most of the shopping. And there was a lot of Amazon shopping this year for us because just a busy year. So,
Yeah, it's easier that way, too.
yeah.
Then they just
Yeah.
ship it.
Yeah. Then Santa, the UPS guy, brings the packages to my house.
You're a regular stop for them.
Yes. Yeah. I'm sure they're getting to know me well here, or us well here already. So, all right, let's talk Young and Restless.
Okay, let's do that.
All right. So Billy, this scene was, I don't know, I wouldn't say it was totally surprising, but a little bit for me. Billy disowns Jack recently here as he, Billy was trying to convince Jack to let's go after Victor and kind of turn the tables on him, what he pulled on us, that kind of thing. And so, Jack wouldn't do it. So Jack's just flat out, no, I'm not doing it.
Right, because
And,
Billy's trying to take down Victor any way he can. He doesn't have the money to do it because he tried to enlist
he
Phyllis's
needs
help
Jack's
too.
money. Yeah.
Yeah, and he needs Jack's money. And Phyllis kind of told him too. She said, I went down this path a while ago, and it hurt me and my family, and affected us. She said, don't do that to your family. Don't let Victor, go try to get revenge on
And
Victor.
from Phyllis, Luann, that's quite some advice because she's the queen of getting even with people.
She's the queen,
right?
Yeah, and I think Billy, but it was kind of interesting his little conversation with Sally just prior to Jack walking in the door at the restaurant, where he said something about how he's going to go about it. He said, "Well," and Sally said, "Well, how are you going to do this?" And he said, "Well, there's my kind of like my victim who I'm going to try to get," and it was Jack. And so I thought, well, what are you trying to have him do? But Jack said, it's a losing battle to go against Victor. And he said, I don't want to do that to Nikki. So Jack feels some allegiance to Nikki. But then how Billy just turned on him like, you've never given me a chance. You never have any confidence in me. And Jack's like, where is this coming from? And Jack has his hands full with Kyle, and it's like, now your brother is, bugging you.
Turning on, kind of, yeah.
And Billy, Billy's kind of a loose card, just loose cannon. That's what I should say.
He is.
And I'm not sure what his plan is going to be because he doesn't have his cohort Phyllis helping him. Jack isn't going to, so where is he going to go next? Because Sally has kind of told him too, I don't think you should, it's a pointless venture to try to take Victor down.
And it's kind of interesting because when Jack, I'm trying to think of what it was, but there was something that happened. I think it was yesterday on the show, and I thought that was going to piss off Jack enough that he was going to call Billy or go back and see Billy and say, we're going to do it. I can't remember what it was or something.
The only thing I could think of is in yesterday's episode, it was Kyle. Kyle was kind of he was questioning Diane again. And Diane said, I thought we've taken care of our relationship, our situation that was going on. And he said, well, there's still the trust issue. He said, I don't know he said, you made it so realistic, you and Dad, with your arguments. And he said, is there some truth to some of that? She said, no, you should know that's not the case. And Kyle got bent out of shape because he said, Mom, are you doing something passive aggressive to me? Because I went into the office today to go in my office and you have not moved out your office stuff. And she said, well, it is your office. But she said, I'm waiting for them to finish my office so I can move my furniture. So I think Jack was a little uptight because Diane shared with him her little discussion with Kyle and the argument they had. And, so like I said, Jack just has a lot coming at him with Kyle and, now Billy, and we'll see what Billy's plan will be, because I think he's going to have to go this on his own.
Yeah, and I don't know how like you said, I don't know how he's going to do that. He doesn't have the finances to pull it off.
And he has to be conniving enough and sly enough, just like Victor, to outsmart him. And I don't think Billy has that in him
No.
to do that.
Well, and the thing with Victor is that he has the patience to play the long game. He doesn't care if it takes, a year to get his plan done. He'll do it. Where Billy
Right.
gets a little restless as soon as things don't go right.
Or go his way.
Or
you
his
know?
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I agree.
Yep. All right. Let's talk a little bit now. We kind of covered the Diane part there, but
Yeah.
let's talk about Nate. So Nate is searching for his brother Damian, and this story kind of started around Nate's mother convinced him. Is it mother or aunt?
It's his. I think it's like his mother or stepmom, because it's Damian's mom.
Yes,
This lady used to be married to Nate's dad.
His dad. So it's his
Yeah.
half brother. Yeah, I knew it was
So,
half
like,
brother. I was
yeah,
trying to remember
so
how that went.
Damian would be his half brother.
Okay, so Damian, so Nate ends up hiring a private investigator to try and find Damian, and it sounds like they put eyeballs on him and they found him. The PI did, and sounds like he's kind of struggling in life with job, etc. And he kind of reported back that was the case.
Right. And it sounds like, she said, do you know where he was last? And he said, well, I know the different jobs. They could see what the different jobs he's been at, but he'll just leave, and then it's kind of, they lose track of him. So right now they don't have a good lock on him, that they know he's in LA somewhere, but they don't, he must be in between jobs and they can't find him. So they have to continue searching for him.
Yep, right.
And it was nice. Nate spent time. I think her name is Amy. He invited her to join he and Audra for Thanksgiving, and so she really appreciated that.
Yep.
And we'll see. I think.
What do you think about this story? Where do you think it's going to go?
Well, I think it'll be interesting to bring Damian, the character, in, because I think he's going to be like a bad boy. Don't you think so?
I do too. Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
So that'll bring some juicy plot lines maybe to Genoa City.
Well, and I had read in doing some research here recently that this storyline is going to get a little juicy because Damian's, there's some sort of a past here that's going to kind of, they kind of hinted around that it would affect Nate greatly and or Audra.
Oh, really?
So, I'm wondering, actually, what I'm wondering here or questioning is this somehow going to tie up with Audra?
Yeah, because
with her past.
Yes, and it kind of leads into your next part with Audra and Nate. But Audra, we're getting some bits and pieces from her now about her life growing up, where it sounds like she didn't have a close relationship with her parents, and it wasn't very happy childhood. And because she said, I really didn't like holidays, especially the big holidays. And so for her, she said, this is why I become so independent, because I had to learn to, make it on my own, because I couldn't, with my parents, I didn't have a very good relationship. So we're getting little bits and pieces. So yes, there could be a tie-in then, like you say. That's good.
And Nate has kind of been digging around a little bit with Audra, just because that scene was kind of interesting. So Nate had Audra spend some time with his family.
Right.
With Devon
and
Lily.
And
that went over pretty well, especially after she was able to find some tears, Luann.
I know.
Audra.
And I think they were real tears, because when she was talking with Sally and telling her what happened. Yeah, you saw that too. And Sally said, well, were those real or fake? And she said,
know, because I thought they were fake until she said that.
Yeah, and she said, no, actually they were real, Yeah. So there's more of that sensitive side.
It surprised Audra.
Yeah. So so then the next question is, are we ready for a more sensitive Audra? who's
Or do we
caring.
like the evil Audra?
Or can she be both?
Right. Or can she play both?
Yeah.
Like a guy like Victor plays both pretty well. He's got this really Mr. Sensitive side. This is why I like Victor, because he's complicated.
Yeah, he is very complicated.
He's sensitive, and then he can be the biggest jerk you ever met in your life. He just kind of waffles according to the situation.
And he holds his family very close and up high,
Yes,
so
he does.
You don't go against
You
the
don't
family.
screw with the Newmans.
You don't screw with the Newmans, right?
Yeah, that's right. All right. Yeah. So we, as you mentioned, Luann, we talked a little bit about Audra, so we got that storyline down pretty good. Where do you think, well, let's touch on this. Where do you think Audra and Nate's relationship,
I think
how do you see this progressing?
I think it will continue to deepen because I think she's not saying the L word yet, but I think she's feeling more than what she thought she would feel for Nate. And Nate's been very patient and good with her. And I think he helps to lighten her up a little bit. He will joke with her a little bit, and he's trying to bring her into the family fold and let her see what a real family can be like. And Nate's had to work his way back. So he understands what Nate or what Audra's experiencing. Yep. And I think he truly, really cares about her too, because he feels very bad for her, that she right now is out of work. And I know he would like to bring her into Winters, but there's no way Devon will ever let that happen.
No.
So
she's got a lot of ground to make up before that would ever happen.
With Devon and Lily both. She has a lot of ground to make up.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. Okay. So next let's talk about Claire.
Yeah.
So Claire this week went to work at Newman Enterprises. I like this scene because it's so Victor. I thought, Victor, don't do that. But he warned Claire earlier that he was kind of poking around about how serious she was with Kyle. And, she kind of indicated, we'll see where it goes. But it's, we care about each other. And he kind of gets serious and he tells Claire, Victor does, that, at some point you might have to choose between your loyalty to the Newmans and whether, you're going to be loyal to him because he's an Abbott.
Yeah.
And he hates the Abbotts with
I know.
passion.
He does. And, he would try to throw out little things like, for example, Claire would say, well, Jack and Diane seem to really get along well. And Victor would say, oh, that's just what you're seeing, what they're showing you behind doors. It's not like that. And she would say, no, Grandpa, I think they get along okay. They're doing things, and, when she was talking with Nikki and her mom, Victoria, she just said, I don't want to have to choose. I shouldn't ever have to come to that point where I have to choose. But we know that down the road, she will have to choose. There will be something that comes up and she will have to make that choice. But for now, Claire has a really good head on her shoulders, considering crazy Aunt Jordan, who, really messed her up. Claire is very sensitive and caring to a lot of individuals. And she will think things through as people are talking to her and provide good advice, kind of. And I think she just carries herself very well. And today when she was all dressed for her first day at work, and it was like, wow, does she look different now? She doesn't look like the nanny anymore. She has her
beautiful
hair.
Girl.
She's beautiful. She had makeup on, some eye makeup, and her hair was nice, and some very business-like, stylish outfits. And she looked very professional.
She looked nice,
and so I think she's going to do very well there at Newman or at
I like her character.
Chancellor.
I like her character.
Yeah,
and she's a good actress. I like her.
She's a good actress,
as well.
yes.
Yeah.
And I think things will continue to blossom for her and Kyle.
I like them as a couple. I kind of hope so.
And I think she's
I'm a hopeless romantic, Luann.
Yeah,
what the hell can I say?
Yeah, she'll tame the bad boy because it seems she seems
we
like
all need one of those.
You're right.
We need a good woman. Us guys, we got to have a good woman
behind
us.
every man,
That's right.
Good man is a better woman.
That's a fact.
Yeah, but I think she's been very good for Kyle, and that's what helped mend his relationship with his mom and dad too.
Yeah.
Was Claire helped.
I agree.
Helped him see things better.
Yep, I agree. All right, so
Save the best for last.
Save the best for last. Or at least the craziest, Luann.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Jordan and Ian.
Yeah.
Our two evil people have teamed up together now.
Yes.
And they've been terrorized. We found out recently, just kind of as this thing kind of unfolds, that these are the two that are really terrorizing Genoa City.
Yes.
The Newmans and Sharon Newman.
Especially Sharon. Especially Sharon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing that was Ian or it was Jordan that ran.
It's Ian. Ian.
Was it Ian that ran? Phyllis ran Phyllis off the road.
Oh
right?
yes, yeah. One of those two, but
and then altering her medications.
Mm-hmm. That's Ian behind that. I think Jordan assisted him. He may have said, "This is what you need to do," and Jordan is the more sly one, and she can get there and do it, but she has to stay undercover kind of too, because police will recognize her where they're not really recognizing Ian.
Oh, I don't know, Luann. They got damn good disguises, her and Ian.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I just chuckle when they sit in these restaurants and they're kind of.
I know, with their sunglasses on.
Yeah, with their sunglasses on, they're kind of hiding. That's funny.
Hey, and
That's funny.
It was interesting this week because we got a insight on Monday, I think it was, as to how Ian and Jordan, their two lives came together
in prison.
And it was in prison. She was in the prison, and he has kind of reformed himself. Where he was kind of like a minister or something, and that
he's walking around with his Bible.
Yeah, I'll help.
When I saw that at first this week, Luann, on this when the scene kind of unfolded, I'm like, Ian's a minister? Are you serious? He's walking around with a Bible. I'm thinking, okay,
he's a Bible thumper.
Hey, anyway. Do you know though that I'm gonna struggle with the name here as we usually. My wife said that Mark, you always every week you struggle with one person's name.
I know.
And I said, well, I'm getting old, What can I say?
And then we'll think about it like an hour or two later.
Right at the end, or we'll text each other or something. That's I remember the name now.
Yeah.
Married to Sharon's daughter. She's married to
Tessa.
Tessa's Ian's daughter. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know. I thought Mariah.
Cover your ears, because I read that.
Oh, really?
I think the writers are going to write in that Ian is going to use his daughter to get to Sharon.
And
it's got to be her. It's got to be Tessa.
Because Tessa does have kind of a bad childhood upbringing too, because
they did kind of indicate that earlier. Yes,
because I remember when years ago when she first was coming on the show, and she was, I think, with Mariah or something like that. Excuse me. And Tessa's sister was like a prostitute or a drug addict or something, and oh, that's right. I remember something happened there. And then her sister died. If somebody overdosed her, I can't remember, but there was something going on in the past.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm. But and the ultimate person that Ian in today's episode said he wants to take down is Sharon, because she's in between him and his daughter, something like that. So they are his goal is Sharon. And it sounds like, Jordan's will be Claire. And, because when he said, hey,
Claire
I was in the...
Victor,
Yeah.
Ultimately to get at Victor and Nikki.
Because when they found out, Ian and Jordan in prison found out they had a common goal of the Newmans and Genoa City, it was kind of like, oh, now we can join forces and try to bring them down, and get her Claire back. And she, how Jordan can manipulate it. She said, I helped raise Claire, and she was we were doing well together, and then the Newmans take her, brainwash her, and it's like, no, they gave her a normal life. It's, as normal as it can be. And but Jordan just sees it in her own slate,
She used to be Barbara, and As the World Turns. Yes. Did you watch that show ever?
No, I didn't watch that.
My mother did. And, I think back now and I think, no wonder I'm still watching soaps. My mother would watch soaps from Young and Restless, and that's even before The Bold, right?
Yeah, that was before
So
Bold.
Young and Restless, and then As the
All
World
My
Turns.
Children. Yeah, All My Children I would watch.
Oh no, she did all CBS. So it was
all
Young and
CBS.
Restless, As the World Turns, and Guiding Light.
Guiding Light. Yeah. Yep. The Guiding Light.
The Guiding Light. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah. You were bound
I was
to.
destined to be a podcaster talking
You
about
were-
soap operas.
Soaps.
All right. Any closing thoughts, Luann, before we button this up?
Not that I can think of, but I think it's going to get more treacherous, and with Ian and Jordan, and then as they could figure out things, if Alan comes back and does some more hypnosis with Sharon, will she remember some other things? Because today's or yesterday's episode was successful when Sharon was
Right.
under to say, I didn't crash into Phyllis. Somebody was following behind me, a truck. So,
Right.
There's new information, but Phyllis is not going to hear any of that right now. To her, Sharon is guilty, so it'll be interesting to see how that all unfolds.
Right.
To clear,
I agree.
to clear
And it
Sharon.
appears that Nick is going to stick with Sharon through thick and thin. So, yeah.
Right.
All right. All right, Luann, until we dish again, keep it sudsy.
Yes, and Merry Christmas to all our listeners and viewers.
Merry Christmas. And
Merry
we're out.
Christmas.